Hello, welcome to Scrap Time. My name's Christine, and in this video we are going to be making some collage elements or embellishments for your projects. Now, I've been doing a lot of demos lately, if you've been watching, and I have piles of these papers showing you different techniques. These were all using the Dina Wakley gloss mediums, and I won't be using these for backgrounds. I do them mainly just to show you how to do a technique, but they're not something that I'm going to then continue to use as backgrounds. And this can also be used, say, this idea, if you made a background that's quite sort of busy and you don't really like it, then this is a great idea of what you can do with some of your busier backgrounds. I'm then taking dies and cutting them. And once you cut them down, you can see that those really busy backgrounds make really cool embellishments, how like all the gradations and colors and those bits of colors. There's no way you could make something like this if you went out with the idea that I'm going to make this. So it's great to take those crazy backgrounds and cut them down, and once they're smaller you have some really beautiful elements. Now for these I use 2 of the Holtz Sizzix dies. It's these ones here. I'm not sure what their names are, but they're the 2 sets of the different sort of wildflowers. Now the one thing to be aware of though is they are really thin. And so you have to be careful. Most of these papers are watercolor paper, so it's a thicker paper. That I'm going to be demoing cutting these, but they're super thin, so you have to be careful about that. But once they're cut out, they're so pretty, and now I have a whole pile of these, so when I'm ready to create, I don't have to go back and make them. I have them already at my disposal to add on to my projects. Now, I've also been, at the same time, cutting out these different little leaves. It was from this die set here. It's one of the newer ones. Now, the thing with this die is what it does, it cuts out the inside. And so you can put it onto a piece of paper and get these designs. So then you have to go in and cut out around it. That's why they're all sort of wonky on the outside, is because only this inside design is actually cut. And then I cut them out. So now I have a bunch of leaves as well that I can add to my projects. And then if I wanted to, I could even take this and get a piece of paper and then cut around it so you can fill in that area as well. I can just adhere this on and then cut it out, and then it's all filled in. But I can wait until I'm doing a project to see what color I want in there. Now I also have some of these bumpier textures that I did with texture paste in that. So I'm not going to be using those fine dies to cut these shapes because there's too much going on. So for that, I mainly was using this set. There's more to it with circles and that, but this was a Spellbinders kit set that I came across that I really like. But if you don't have dies that are already shapes, you can just hand cut them or you can punch them. I'm going to show you here. I have them all in a bag. So in the set they have some with holes, and then I cut out circles. And then with the extra pieces I've been cutting strips as well. I'll just grab a little handful. Some of these strips were from the die, so that's so cool. That's the stickles that we put glaze over, and now I have this sparkly little strip. This one I just cut off a strip from a card. Then now I get these little textures. When I did the embossing, I cut out shapes, so I now have these embossed shapes, and I could go back in and put some ink on the background if I wanted. Here's some of the pastes. Here's a piece with those big things. So for the texture ones, I'm just cutting mainly circles. You can hand cut circles, you can cut triangles, squares, strips, whatever you want, but by having it already cut down, when you're time to create, you can just dig through and find something you want to use. And I have all different colors. Here's, like, I just used circle punches. Like, how cool is that circle with all those little colors? So if you were to start from scratch and say, I want to make a circle like this, you're not going to be able to. So just by cutting up your papers, you can have really cool embellishments all ready to go. So I'm just going to push a few things aside and I'm going to do a demo. So I have this piece here and it's quite busy. There's lots of colors and that going on. So again, it's not something I just want to put on and use as a background, but cut up, we're going to make some really cool things out of this. So what I like to do, I'm using a Sizzix Big Shot. And so I have my cutting platform. And so I like to put it down and then the dies down. So I sort of am positioning them. Here's some dies I have that I'm going to use. I just noticed that this die here still has a little bit of paper. So I want to get that out. So this is the Eye Crafter little retractable pick. And I like it because it's lightweight. I can just pick out those little bits like that. And my die is clean. Usually I do that afterwards, but I guess I had just missed some of that. So what I want to do is I'm going to lay down my dies onto the sheet. And because it's all over the place, I can put some upside down. So I have this die here. I can put it like this because there's no right or wrong way on this. So I'll just do the 3 dies for now. And then I put the smooth mat on top. So I'm going to move this aside and bring in my machine. Now this paper it's watercolor paper, it has gesso, it has gloss spray, and so to get a really good cut, so I'm not fighting with it, I just like to go back and forth and back and forth. I want to make sure that that die is cutting through all of those layers. Sorry for the squeak of my machine. So let's see if this has cut through. You can see how easy it comes off. So that means this one's even already coming right out. So that means that I went through enough times. So let me put the machine down. That was just the cutting mat that I had left on it. Okay, so this one, it's already coming out, which is great. But again, I'm going to take my little Eye Crafter pick and I'm just going to push it through a couple of those. And you can see how fine these dies are. You have to be so gentle with them. Going to do that. And you don't want to force it. If it's a little stuck, just push it through. And then look how pretty that is. Up here, it's not sitting flat, but you can see all the little specks, and then up here, the different colors. And so you get that really crazy background, but you can make like the prettiest little pieces for your projects. So if you have any of those lying around that you're like, ooh, that was a little intense, you just get out some of your dies and cut them up. Now I wasn't going to do all of them, but they're coming out so easily that I'm going to just bring out this last one, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what you can do with the leftover. So there we have 3 really pretty designs there. Now we still have a lot of card here. So I know I have my punch. Here's my punch. So I might take my circle punch and punch some holes in the areas that are bigger. I'm going to do it on this side actually because I have a knife. So you can see you can get some fun little holes. Now here we have this area, so I know I can cut a strip. So I'm just cutting it by hand. You can use your cutter if you want. I think things are more organic if you cut it by hand. So there's this strip there. I think I can get another hole here. And another one here. Now if you don't have a hole punch, of course, just cut them by hand. Just gonna cut a bit of this off. So in here I can just go in and just cut a wonky circle. It doesn't have to be like, sometimes it's better if they're not completely like circular like a hole punch. Just cut wonky circles. You can cut triangles. Maybe you want some triangles on your thing. So I like to just work my way through cutting, punching, and just using up this piece. So then I have a whole bunch of different embellishments that I can use for collage or just on different cards and projects I'm making. So hopefully that gives you some ideas to use up some of your backgrounds that are a little busy or that you're not planning to actually use as a background. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time videos on YouTube. In the meantime, here are a couple other videos you might be interested in watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.